Yeah, Israel 1 through 12. What you know about it? King talk. Follow me. They taught us lies and changed the image of his greatness. Gave us religion and it was off to the races. You got your idols and you wanna play your favorites. Same color, don't matter, your mind frame's basic. I kick truth and cover all bases. I'm talking facts and you wanna call me racist. I'm in the game with a handful of aces. Explore Job 9:24 and peep the fakeness. The gay vandals change their faces, a damn shame. False image in your picture frame. It's not a game, the ignorance got my spirit inflamed. I'm talking renaissance. You prance around like a debutante. Prideful and ignorant, the spirit of people love to flaunt. It's carte blanche when we set up shop on your block. To teach the word, the cream rises to the top. Got my feet firm in the pavement. Taking out these zombies, witches, and these pale-faced cavemen. And don't provoke or get hung like my hat and my coat. You heard Christ was white, but that was just a hope. Studs and fringes in my fatigue coat. And we hope to eliminate all wickedness, but suckers keep bumping their gums, sounding ridiculous. You wanna know who it is? It's IQAhmath, IQAhmath first name, the rest of y'all the straight lane. Here we go, I gotta let you know, I keep it 100, you keep it COINTELPRO. Whoa, so don't even trip, I got a sword in my hand, I ain't scared to let it rip. I'm here to let you know, I keep it 100, you keep it COINTELPRO. Whoa, so don't even trip, I got a sword in my hand, I ain't scared to let it rip. It's time to get rid of you, trapped in the black mirror. Subject to political theater, you won't hear the sound of the trumpet. Load the clip and dump it. There's no touching the Most High's beloved. These niggas want me to stop teaching, change the subject. My mood fluctuates up and down like your budget. Here's a little nugget, cash it in if you like. In the world of darkness, the only light you got is Christ. I'm trapped in hell, but I meditate calmly. Don't follow crowds, I'm avoid you zombies. Giving my fringes, to hell with Abercrombie. My conscience clear, fear won't allow me to break the mold. Follow the globe, the teach laws and commandments, I ain't breaking the code. Slaves bought and sold, identity never told. It's hard to stay hot in a world so cold. This shit is sad, grown men dressed in drag. Hit him with the law, them niggas be hauling ass. Catfish on the gram wearing a mask, trying to gather this 1/3 for sure is a tough task, but I stay focused, giving hope to the hopeless. From Yasha Allah, the slogan, so take notice. Plague a locust to those with bogus motives. Bury him 6 feet deep to smell the roast. Here we go, I gotta let you know, I keep it 100, you keep it COINTELPRO. Whoa, so don't even trip, I got a sword in my hand, I ain't scared to let it rip. I'm here to let you know, I keep it 100, you keep it COINTELPRO. Whoa, so don't even trip, I got a sword in my hand, I ain't scared to let it rip.
Let me know if I'm coming in. Let me know if I'm coming in. 7 in the chat. Do that for your brother. All right. You reached DSTN. Don't shoot the messenger. This is your brother IQAhmath. IQAhmath first name. IQ is all the same. If you've been around, you've been picking up what I've been putting down. If you have not, don't get too close because you might get shot. All right. Yeah. Shalom to the families in the house, man. Y'all already know. The title says it alone. Thumbnail says it alone. All of y'all feel it. All of y'all know it. Everybody's moving in the spirit. The whole world is on edge right now. You know, there's no better time right now. I know y'all been saying, yeah, it's the last days. Y'all keep talking about it. But it ain't never been like this before. I said it less than 30 days ago. 2026 is going to be turn. And expect some tough times in 2026. Here we are, what, 9 days in? And those words, all hell is breaking loose. Those 5 words mean more than ever right now. You dig what I'm saying? Salute to the families in the house, man. Shalom, shalom, peace. Welcome, good night, good evening, all that good stuff, right? If you have not already, wipe them feet when you came on in here, man. Show some respect, all right? Show some respect. It's all right. All of y'all been raised right. Wipe them feet, man. Let the algorithm know, man, that you appreciate the content that's going on over here, man. Fight back against the beast, man. Quit being scared. All right. Quit being scared, man. Let the beast know. Yeah, I like this over here, and I want others to know about it. I want the algorithm to be triggered. I want everybody to see and know that the information that's coming out over here, man, all praise to the Most High by some of my Avashai, has been helpful to you, right? And to all of us. Let me salute my brothers and sisters in the chat, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. Within the last 7 days, it's been wild. And that's an understatement. Lord willing, we'll get through it tonight. I don't want to make a marathon of it, but I got so much stuff, man. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. All right. Salute to my brother and soldier, Ashar in the house, man. My man Kohath in the house. Shalom to you. The house of Bayan Shakal. Shalom to you and yours. The house of the quad, man. I'm glad you sipped that little Java, man. You sipped that Java. You got that coffee. You had your energy drink, the quad. Hopefully you up and ready to rock. Man, Shalaka in the house, man. Prayers up to you, my brother. Good looking out. I'm still being vigilant, tuning in. Oh man, the Manawaf. Shalom, good brother. Khan, man, act like you know, not like you knew. Yeah, man. Yeah. Your elder used to get down back in the day. But yeah, that's me. That's me. All praise to the Most High. UZL Malachi. Hey, shalom to you, brothers, man. Anybody and everybody else, man, that's tapping in, man. Hashemai in the house. Shalom, you sis. And if you're not up with me this evening, some of y'all gonna double back, catch it tomorrow, because I know some of y'all gonna go to sleep. Some of y'all are gonna go to sleep. Shame on you. But hey, I know what it is. 6 days of labor, and sometimes it gets the best of you, right? But it's okay. You got tomorrow, you can wake up refreshed, tune in, catch up. And I guarantee you, you're going to have to go over some of the stuff a couple of times. You might have to screenshot some stuff. You might have to, take some notes down, do what you need to do. Uh, go double back, do your own research, figure out some things that I'm bringing out. Don't take my word for it. Just take the seed, right? Take that red pill. Don't be scared. Pop it in the mouth, wash it down, and get ready for the journey. All right. Without further ado, like I said, we got a lot to cover, man. We're gonna go ahead and get right. Let's share my screen one more time, and we'll get to the nitty gritty. Hold on, what is this? A lot going on, man. Good Lord. Like I said, Lord willing, we'll get through it all. Look at this. You see all these slides? I'm still going, still going. Video, slides, the whole nine. But try to be concise, but I'm trying to be thorough. I know I'll be kind of force feeding y'all a whole lot of stuff, man. Y'all get full and you tap out, the itis kicks in, y'all miss a lot of information. Sometimes it just be so much y'all forget. I'll be bringing stuff out and y'all double back and be sending me stuff and I'm like, hey, I did cover that like a while back, or I know what it is. Don't worry. That's why the so-called white man made instant replay. You can always double back. Look, I'm still scrolling, man. Whole lot to cover, man. Whole lot to cover. Lord willing, we're gonna get through it. All right. Let's start here. Okay, because this is important. This is gonna set the tone for everything. Your man Agent Orange, Shalaki. Your man Agent Orange, man, has officially declared himself damn near in the spirit of Antiochus Epiphanes, man, power manifested. We're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at that, right? When the scriptures say that the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, Job 9:24, man, this is all prophetic things that he's doing that is bringing to light the scriptures, right? All praise to the Most High, because if anybody is casting doubt, this ain't the time to be doubting. This ain't the time to be wavering. This ain't the time to be tiptoeing, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, lukewarm. If you don't see the writing on the wall right now, man, you're just blind. You're not sealed with the spirit of the Lord. It's just not in you. I'm sorry. It's just not in you. If you're watching the Israelites for entertainment, you just want to see people getting cut up on the streets and Edomites getting embarrassed and the Christians getting humiliated, and you think that that's all cool and fun and dandy, or you kind of look in admiration of the brothers and say, man, them brothers are strong, man, them brothers stand up, them brothers are out there. It ain't just about that, man. It's about you live, learning, and applying and putting these things into your own life to make changes, i.e., repentance, to make yourself a better man or woman in the eyes of the Lord, man, and hopefully secure yourself as one of the hopeful elect and a crown upon your head, and to see the glorious kingdom that the Most High is going to make manifest upon this earth. That's what we need to be doing, man. Don't get caught up in the hoopla. Don't get caught up in the drama. Don't get caught up in the folly, because you know what? As soon as you get to doing that, the baton that's handed off to you to carry out your leg of the race in this thing called a marathon, you're gonna miss it. You're gonna drop it. Stay focused. Trump lays out a vision of power restrained only by my own morality. Notice I said, no, not me. Notice what the New York Times says. This is what he said. He's talking about the only power that can restrain him is himself. Now he says his own morality. Now, mind you, can we trust the morality of Agent Orange, man? Can we really? I mean, we're talking about a man who said it's easy to get a woman. All you got to do is grab them by the nether regions. You know what I'm talking about. You heard that quote before. We're talking about the same man who had modeling agencies, looking at and judging young teenage girls, 13, 14-year-old in bathing suits, having them model around, hanging out with underage women at parties with Epstein. His name is mentioned over 1,000 times within them files, pictures galore. His own morality, man. A man that's bankrupt 6 companies, getting ready to do it to a whole country. His own morality, huh? Baby daddy, broken marriages and all that stuff. His own morality, huh? You know how he thinks about blacks and browns. Remember he said, oh, those people coming from ish-hole countries has no respect for you, no respect for your heritage, no respect for your homeland, no respect for your culture. But the only thing that can restrain him is his own morality, not God, not any other country, not democracy, not the Constitution. Read between the lines, y'all. The devil's in the details. On topic after topic, President Trump made clear that he would be the arbiter of any limits to his authority, not international law or treaties. So again, he's acknowledging that nothing is going to stop him. Nothing is going to hold him back, only himself. He's declared himself supreme dictator of the world. Meanwhile, he's utilizing CIA and the Mockingbird Mafia, Mockingbird Media Mafia to say, oh no, Maduro, he's a dictator. Oh, the Colombian president, he's a dictator. Oh, Castro, he was a dictator. Oh, not me. I didn't do it. Not me. I'm the good guy. Okay, Trump, declared on Wednesday evening that his power as commander-in-chief is constrained only by his own morality, brushing aside international law and other checks on his ability to use military might to strike, invade, or coerce nations around the world. Asked in a wide-ranging interview with the New York Times if there are any limits on his global powers, Trump said, yeah, there is one thing, my own morality, my own mind. It's the only thing that can stop me. Let's pause right there. I need that to sink in. This is who we're dealing with. This who has the code, the nuclear codes. This is the one who's unleashed the Gestapo, ICE agents all throughout the country, running and hunting down blacks and browns. Just fired on one of their own. But then again, she was part of the community. The alphabet community, you know who they are. So maybe they look at her as a casualty of war, whatever. Who knows? But He said the only thing that can stop him is him. I don't need international law, he added. I'm not looking to hurt people. Oh, huh? Really? Oh, okay. So Abrego Garcia, is that the brother's name, man? That they got accosted, kidnapped, and thrown over into the Salvador prison, even though he was a legitimate citizen in America. Remember him? I guess he didn't mean to. He didn't want to hurt them people, man. What about the people down there in Alligator Alcatraz? You think they're hurting down there? I just covered a story about 5 people that passed away in these ICE facilities within 5 days, and there's more than that. I think there's up to like 12 or 15, something like that. People that's been, passed away. We'll call it unalived in these detention facilities. He doesn't mean to hurt people, man. Ask President Maduro, man, how did he feel when he got kidnapped and raided? The Venezuelan media is saying over 100 people got unalived in that mission that took on record between 30 and 45 minutes. Can you imagine 100 people getting put to death within 30 to 45 minutes and the carrying out of a kidnapping? But he doesn't want to hurt nobody, man. He's bombed like 9 countries in less than 365 days. But he don't want to hurt nobody. He's kicked off people off of Medicaid. Like a few million people got kicked off of Medicaid. Oh, he don't mean to hurt them people, man. Their health care is going to be all right, won't it? SNAP benefits getting cut, man. Qualifications, EBT, Section 8, all those HUD programs and federal, what do they call them? Safety net programs getting cut, modified to cut some of you people off there. Oh, he don't mean to hurt nobody. He's the good guy. When pressed further about whether his administration needed to abide by international law, Mr. Trump said, I do, but he made clear he would be the arbiter when such constraints apply to the United States. Yeah, he knows how to evade the law. That's why when they, made the declaration that this whole Venezuela invasion and kidnapping was based upon narco terrorism. That means he didn't have to get Congress's approval because it was based upon terrorism. That is based on international law. I mean, he can go ahead and make the move and then holler at them later. But we're not hearing anything about, how many keys did they seize at Maduro's house? Did they recover any drugs, money, anything? I mean, have they recovered any stash spots yet? Have we heard about any drug raids going on in Venezuela right now, man? The narco cartels down there, are they running for their lives? I mean, has anybody heard anything about the drugs yet? I'm wondering, because I sure haven't. We're definitely hearing about that oil, though. Let's get some prophecy. 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord, Yahushua, Hamashiach, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind or troubled. I know it's, doom and gloom. I know it's a lot of bad news, a lot of things that might have you excited, might have you on edge, might have you, more zealous in the spirit, might put you back on fire. You might have been getting dim. Your light been flickering a little bit. And now you say, ooh, shoot. That swift little draft and touch your $$, you know what I'm talking about? They get you. Yeah. But the Lord said, don't be soon shaken in mind or troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter from us, as that day of Yahushua or Hamashiach is at hand. So the time is at hand, right? Continuing on, verse 3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means. This is why, I think it was the previous DSTM, but one of the classic scriptures is always John 8:32. Christ said, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Why do we constantly keep hearing about not being deceived, not being bewitched, learning and understanding the truth? Why are these particular principles? Because it's letting you know that the scriptures tell you that red dragon, Satan, the serpent, which had deceiveth the whole world in Revelation 12th chapter 9th verse, that's going to be one of the key components of the end times. When you start seeing deception and lies, trickery, sorcery, witchcraft, all of those things. Right now, you can't even believe your own eyes right now due to AI. Everybody's questioning reality because of the technological quote unquote revolution that they got going on right now. Deception is at an all-time high. Let no man deceive you by any means, because he's going to pull out all the stops. He's campaigned himself as being the president of peace, America first. And because he's doing the exact opposite of that, you're seeing an implosion going on within the MAGA community. They're all, tripping. Marjorie Taylor Greene then jumped ship. Tucker Carlson, he's on edge. Ben Shapiro, Candace, all of them at each other's throats. What's the little maggot? Nick Fuentes. They're all at each other's throats, man. Eating each other alive, cannibalizing on each other. Good. All praises. Because now they're realizing they've been duped. They've been lied to. Children of Israel, man, we can't fall for the okie doke, man. We done been hoodwinked, bamboozled, to quote Malcolm X, for far too long. Now it's time to wake up. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there be a falling away first. The falling away was the children of Israel falling away from the commandments and the righteousness of the Most High, going into captivity. The fulfilling of Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68. Time and time again. Most High said his judgment is as a ring. Those things are reciprocal. Those things constantly go forward and come back until the children of Israel repent. That's why we went through it in the time of Judges. We've gone through it throughout our various captivities, from Assyria to Babylon, to the Persians and the Medes, to the Greeks, to the Romans, all the way here to in America. We've had our falling away, but now the enlightenment and the waking up of our people is here. That 350-year seal has been broken. Now the time of edification, knowledge, and wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of the Lord is back in the earth, and it's manifesting within his children. That Ezekiel 37, the valley of the dry bones, that's all coming to pass as we speak. That great exceeding army is being rebuilt again. Revelation 11 tells us that as well. So the falling away has happened. That became the first thing that was going to dictate the latter times, is us waking up. We had the falling away. Now we're coming back. But what also has to be made manifest? And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. What's perdition? What is perdition? Let's see. Son of perdition. The son of perdition is going to be one who has entire loss or ruin, utter destruction, as the perdition of the Turkish fleet. Okay, now it says the utter loss of the soul or final happiness in a future state, future misery or eternal death. The impenitent sinner is condemned to final perdition, loss. So who is going to be the son of what? A future misery or eternal death? Y'all should already be knowing where I'm going next. But he said he's got to be revealed first, right? But before we go there, and before we, continue on to understand the perdition aspect, you know what? No, let's just stay in the spirit. We're going to go there. One nation of people, man, who's been promised that they're going to be wiped out. Regardless if brothers are talking about this is hyperbole. Do you imagine the vanity of somebody saying that that's hyperbole? This is hyperbole. You're telling the Most High that you're doing too much. He didn't mean it like that. You're telling the Most High said, "My thoughts are not your thoughts." He didn't really mean it that way. It's a little bit extra. They'll be preserved. The remnant that are preserved are going to serve out their bondage and the captivity, and they will be destroyed at the conclusion. But here we go. Right to the point. Verse 18 of Obadiah, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. So this is going to be a future prophecy because both the house of Jacob, house of Joseph, northern and southern kingdom have to be involved in the destruction. And the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any perdition remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. A future state or future misery or eternal death, the utter loss of soul or final happiness. So somebody, well, we just read there's going to be a nation that's going to be taken out, a people is going to be taken out and falling into perdition. And one of the representative, and how do you identify this particular nation and people? Their leader is going to say something in this fashion. Verse 4, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God. What did he say here? His power can only be restrained by his own morality, not the Most High, not because he feared the Most High. Remember, he used to say, oh, don't worry about it, Christians. You won't have to vote anymore. You're not going to have to do it. Oh, I love the Christians. I'm not a Christian, but I love the Christians. Remember, he said all that? He don't give a damn about the Most High. He don't give a damn about Christianity. He don't give a damn about religion. He done blasphemed, made his own Bible, just like he made his own Trump tennis shoes. He's a marketing genius. He got the Trump coin. He parlayed that whole campaign into billions and billions, as he loves to say, of dollars for him and his family. They said his worth has doubled in less than a year since he's been elected. But what's he going to do? He who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High or God, or that is worship, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So he's got pictures of himself, i.e. Cesare Borgia, that he is God. For the Trinitarians, they're going to say, well, Jesus is God. You might as well say that Caesar Borgia is God too. Go all the way with it. When he's saying he's sitting in the temple of the Most High, meaning he has control over the nature of worship, fellowship, money, because that goes through the temple as well, everything, right? He's saying he is the Most High. He's saying he is God. But we know that he's going to declare that anyway, Isaiah 13. And, Salaki. I want 14. 14, it says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Actually, let's read up a little bit, right? Verse 12, it says, how art thou fallen, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Lucifer is only meaning a light bearer, right? Light represents wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It's not talking about Satan. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Yes, the so-called white man weakened all the nations. This is why you see all hell breaking loose. He's got problems with the EU. He's got problems with China. He's got problems with Russia. He's got problems with Cuba. He's got problems with Colombia. He's got problems with Mexico. He's got problems with Venezuela. He's got problems with the children of Israel. Why? Because he's weakened all of them, especially with this move that he ran off with in Venezuela. He definitely put a power move and weakened Russia and China. We'll get into the schematics of that in a minute. He's weakened the nations through intimidation, through war, economic sanctions, tariffs, you name it. All the nations at his beck and call. And now he's drawing a line saying, if anybody's not on my page, I'm coming after you. He wants complete, total dominance and global recognition throughout the earth. He knows that America and the whole mystique of America is tarnished and looking weak right now. So he's saying, you know what? Before it's all said and done, I'm going all out. That's why he's always said, we're going to make America great again. Verse 13, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. So his, he's got space wars. Oh, no. What is it? Reagan has Star Wars. He's got Space Force. The satellite programs he's trying to launch up there, man. Every time he keeps talking about SpaceX with his boy Elon, making it seem as though he's able to travel beyond that Van Allen belt and get out into the third heaven. He ain't going out there. That's why all them SpaceX ships keep busting and blowing up and faltering. They're not going nowhere, but that's his desire. He's saying it in his mind. This is what he wants to do. He doesn't accomplish it, but this is what his thoughts are. I will sit also upon the mountain of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Who else has a more proficient God complex than the so-called white man? To prove that point also, I said it before. Let's look at it real quick. First Maccabees chapter 1. Come on now. Why does not... This app is switched up on me. Don't go right to my scriptures like I like in the Apocrypha. But nonetheless, we're going to get right to the point, man. When Alexander the Freak gained control of the earth, around 333 BC. Everybody knows the history. We just came from dedication. Y'all know the history regarding the Greek conquering, right? If you don't, go back, check any of the lessons regarding dedication, Hellenization, all that good stuff, right? Coming up out of the Seleucid Empire was this guy Antiochus, right? Now, when you read here in verse 10, it says, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes. Epiphanes meaning power or God manifest. Son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. So Antiochus was a wicked root now. Evil God. Look, verse 9 says, and after his death, they put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. So the main four generals, there were more, but the main four generals of Alexander the Freak all put crowns upon themselves and established dynasties. You had the Seleucid dynasty, you had the Ptolemaic dynasty, Cassander and Lysimachus, all were the four generals, right? Most prominent coming out of that was the Seleucid Empire and the Ptolemies. But it says when the so-called white man came into power, mind you, prior to 333 BC, melanated or dark-skinned nations were ruling. The Persians and the Medes, the Babylonians, the Assyrians, the Israelites, so forth and so on, right? When the so-called white man comes in, this pale-faced, red nation comes in, he's starting to gain control. What happened? Evils were multiplied in the earth. As we can see what's going on right now. When you give him anything, you give him power, you give him ultimate dominion and rulership, only thing comes from it is evil. And of course, the pro-white crowd is going to say, what? Look at all the inventions that we made. What? The inventions that you stole, many of which? We're not going to act like they didn't have any content. They didn't create anything. But, let's be real. They stole more than they created. New age colonialism is going on right now. You would swear, America ran over there like Hernan Cortez, Francisco Pizarro, and the damn, Spaniard conquistadors, man, when they ran up in Maduro's house. Evil's being multiplied in the earth when he's got control. Now, mind you, it says now, even these times were already evil. There's a guy who said, I have to surname myself God manifested, and he's recognized as a wicked root. How evil could he have been to be recognized as wicked during a time of evil? Everybody's already evil. Everything's already evil and wicked. but he was rooted in wickedness, right? Now, even when you're talking about Agent Orange, man, we're talking in the spirit. I'm not, we know the regeneration is real. I'm not saying that Donald Trump is Antiochus Epiphanes, but there's some wild parallels, man. Wild parallels. Let's keep it in the spirit, though. Ephesians 6 and 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against what? Spiritual wickedness in high places. There's a spirit that's manifesting within that man that is very reminiscent of a wicked root named Antiochus, who went wild in his reign from the desecration of the temple, the desiring of everybody wanted everybody to be Greeks and leave off their customs, their religion, their language, so forth and so on. Isn't that what he's pushing right now? He's telling everybody it's America first, America only. You got to be pro-American. If you don't, I've got laws in place that's gonna root you out and weed you out as being a dissident and seditious against the nation, and we're gonna come get you. So in the spirit of things, man, this is how he's establishing his rulership. Let me get another one. Hold on. What is this? Remind me later. Whatever. Daniel. Let's look at Daniel 8. And in the same spirit, man, this is still talking about Antiochus and Daniel's vision. Okay. Now it says, let's start at verse 23. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance. Remember, it says when the transgressors are come to the full. Remember, it said that the times were evil. Now here comes a king of fierce countenance, a wicked root, and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty. Oh, and Epiphanes, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully and shall prosper. So yeah, he went to war with the Ptolemies, establishing rule and dominion. He had the children of Israel in complete subjection, and those that he didn't, were obviously banished and ran off into the catacombs to reorganize. We're talking about the Maccabean family and all those who followed him. So he went on a campaign of destruction. His predecessor, Alexander the Greek, had all the nations in subjection. First Maccabees 1 and 41 tells you that he wanted all the earth to be under one rule, one dominion, one government, one monetary system, the whole nine, that one world order. He was one of the ones pushing that. It says, and he shall destroy wonderfully and shall prosper and practice and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. Now, when you look at that word practice, right? Let's see. Uh, no, that's not the one I want. Not practice. Shalaki. Let me get back to the chapter. I thought it was practice, not practice. Which word is that? Oh, craft. Yeah. Okay, so look, it says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully and shall prosper in practice and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. So he did that. He destroyed the temple, right? Is that not large enough, Ashar? You say enlarge the font. That's pretty large to me. Oh, I'm Salaki Elder. That's you. It should be large enough, man. If everybody can see, throw a 7 in the chat for me. I'm looking at it from my phone. It looked like it's pretty large. Okay, but continuing on. Verse 25, it says, and through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. Now, he's going to establish particular policies. Now, notice what it says here. What's craft? Deceit and treachery. Deceit and treachery is going to be the main things that he utilizes to prosper. This is why we're hearing about all the implosions going on with America first. He lied to us. He ain't doing that. Oh, all of the signs. I'm the president of peace. 9 bombings later, he's still running the show. Oh, the economy's doing great. Inflation is down. There is no inflation. They just got through saying the numbers in December, the job numbers are down as far as job creation is concerned. Everything is in shambles. They're talking about the bubble bursting in 2026 as far as the stock market is concerned. You see what's happening with the metals. I mean, he's running around here saying everything is great. Nobody's done anything better. In his first term, he said nobody's done for more for black people than Lincoln. I mean, talk about the devil, man. But this is how he operates. So it says, and through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. So what's he going to do? Deceit and treachery is going to prosper in his hand. So this is why we're seeing him making moves on Greenland, making moves on Venezuela, making moves on Colombia, making moves on Cuba, making moves on Russia, on China, on damn near everybody, Cuba, through his policy. And what's his policy? I'll do whatever I want to. The only thing that can stop me is my own morality. And he shall magnify himself in his heart. Yeah, see? That's why the Most High told him in Obadiah, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee. He's magnifying himself in his own mind. And by peace shall destroy many. Didn't he say, I'm the president of peace? I played a video last week. They asked him, does he have any quote unquote New Year's resolutions? He said, peace on earth, peace on earth. Yeah, we're going to bring peace on earth. Huh? Right after you just got through raiding, and then 2 days later, you went and raided the man's house, kidnapped him, killed 100 people, ran off with the plug on the oil. I mean, come on. Lied and said it was about drug trafficking, narco trafficking. Okay, hold on. Let's clear that up too, real quick. Now I'm gonna do this real fast, right? Now look at here. This is. Let's see what they say on here. All right, so look here. They say, okay, Venezuela. I said, how much does Venezuela participate in the drug trade? Venezuela plays a significant role as a transit hub. Transit hub. They don't produce. They don't do anything, right? For cocaine trafficking, primarily moving Colombian cocaine to other regions, but it is not a major producer of cocaine itself. Estimates suggest that around 10% of U.S. destined cocaine transshipments involve Venezuela, with the country being linked to movement of 250, 350 metric tons of drugs annually. All right. Where is it at? There was a see, it all depends on what you put in here. I know I looked at some other information. They said that hardly a small percent of drugs that come from Venezuela is intended for or even comes to America. It's mostly going into other Latin American countries, Europe, and where else? Possibly the Middle East, but I know for sure they said Europe is the main spot, and hardly anything even comes here, man. But anyway, not to get off on the tangent because, like I said, they got a lot to cover, and I don't want to get thrown off. But point of the matter is, when we get back over here, by peace is going to destroy many. That's what he campaigned on. That's what he lied about. Remember, he said, "I'm going to end the Ukraine and Russia war in 24 hours." What happened to that? Oh, that's craft. Oh, that's deceit. That's treachery, right? He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hands. So ultimate destruction is going to happen to him. What happened to him? He got broken without hand because he ended up dying from disease, right? Nobody had to put him to death. The Most High smote him with disease, right? Um, Now he said one other thing. He said the only thing that can stop him is his own morality, right? Whatever goes on in his mind. Jeremiah 17:9 says, "The heart is deceitful above all things, and what desperately wicked. Who can know it?" Now, if we're already dealing with a man who's rooted in wickedness, we're already dealing with a man who is wicked above all, and he's saying, "I'm going to trust in my own mind and my own morality." I mean, we're in trouble then. If that's the standard, if that's what the measuring stick is, America's finished. Finito. All right. Let's get to it. Let's move on. All right. Confusion reigns in Caracas after Maduro's captured by U.S. forces. So we set the tone, right? Everything's gonna revolve that we're gonna talk about tonight is gonna revolve around him, his policies, the things that he's doing, the moves that he's making throughout the earth is definitely leading towards global conflict, i.e., World War III. Everything's going according to the plans of the Most High. He's thinking it's about his own morality because he thinks he's power manifested, God manifested, right? So this is after the kidnapping of Maduro. They've got confusion going on all over the place. Remember, he immediately said, "We're going to run we're going to run it. We're going to take over." Right? The VP, the vice president, sister, come out. She said, "I don't know what he's talking about. I'm the next man up is me. I'm coming in. The hell with America. Blah blah blah." And now she's even switched tunes. Now it's some high level madness going on with this whole thing, right? But anytime that America runs in and does a regime change, anytime they go in and they go and recapture a whole country, man, they jack it up, man. Go check Libya. Go check uh where was Saddam from? Um Iraq. Look at Afghanistan. They got ISIS, man, running rampant over there. They didn't recapture the whole thing. You remember when Slow Biden pulled out of Afghanistan in 2020, what was it, 2024? And them planes was taking off, man, and them damn towel heads was running around chasing the planes and falling off the planes, running, saying, "Take me with you, don't leave us." Look what's happened over there in Syria. Did the regime change? Got rid of Bashir al-Assad. He ran off. He's disappeared. Nobody knows and heard from him since. He goes in and inputs another damn ISIS leader, and they tearing up the Syria over there. Look what he's trying to do in Iran right now. They trying to get rid of the Ayatollah Khomeini over there. People riding and acting a fool in the streets. And now they're really turning up because they think that Agent Orange got their back. Remember, Agent Orange said, "Man, if you do anything to them people, you're gonna have hell to pay. And if you think you're building some more nukes, man, I'm gonna tear them up too. Nuclear power plants, I'm gonna tear them up too." So now the people is out there riding and acting a fool, saying, "Yeah, we want regime change to end with this dictatorship. We want money," because much of it is all about finance. Well, who's to blame for it when America's laying down the sanctions and America's cutting off their energy access? America's starving all these nations out, and then when the people is running around here thinking it's the leaders, and some of them are corrupt, it's their fault because they're not doing enough. It's their fault because they're not making no moves. Their hands are tied. America's cutting off the water, and they saying, "Turn on the water. We're starving." They like, "Damn, I can't. And what I can do, I'm gonna give to me and mines." "Oh, you're corrupt." Well, hey, that does happen. So confusion is going on in Venezuela right now, right? Trump, uh, this is the Venezuelan, the VP Trump, she noted, didn't mention Venezuelan democracy once in his speech Saturday, and the White House hasn't signaled that it wishes to replace Maduro with either Edmundo Gonzalez, the apparent winner of the 2024 election, or Maria Corina Machado, winner of the Nobel Peace Prize and leader of the country's opposition movement. The lack of a clear objective is what has so many of us concerned. Yeah, because the next leader, it ain't got nothing to do with you. He already said, "We're going to control it. We're going to take over." They're thinking, okay, well, who's he going to appoint next? Who's he going to put in there? One of us is going to be you, it's going to be me. And Trump is saying, none of you. It's going to be me. That's why the Lord said, never trust thy enemy. Because here they are still trusting in him to make the right moves, to input the next leader. And they don't realize. He said, I am the leader. What are you talking about? None of y'all going to be it. Remember last week we talked about crowds on demand? And you seen all them people down there in Florida, all of a sudden, within hours, they was out organized and marching and ready to, so happy that the raid happened and the kidnapping happened. And not too much longer, you start seeing real protests going on, real people standing up in Venezuela. Because you would think the people of Venezuela would have been the first ones out in the streets celebrating so happy that they finally got rid of Maduro. No. It's the people over here in America so happy for them. They like, what? We ain't happy. What are y'all doing? We want him back. Don't believe me? Let's let them.
Earlier this afternoon, I spoke to feature story news reporter Mary Trini Mina in Venezuela's capital, Caracas. Thank you so much for joining us. We are speaking a few hours before.
Let's hear from someone who's boots on the ground in Venezuela. Let's not, wait for the Western media, the Western, Mockingbird media and the CIA to go out there and paint these narratives of, everybody's painting the town red and green and gold and so happy he's gone. And, everybody. Hold on. Something ain't right. Let's hear from the people themselves, though.
Our show airs. It's been an extraordinary day in Venezuela today. What has it been like on the ground?
Well, Venezuelans woke up hearing loud sounds rumbling across the city. It was complex situations from early hours. It began at 1:50 local time. It lasted for about 45 minutes. I personally heard planes, airplanes, and these detonations that kept happening for about 45 minutes. It was a difficult situation, very complex, with a lack of information coming from the government of Nicolás Maduro. Later on, they released a statement saying that this was an aggression perpetrated by the U.S., and according to the Venezuelan government, the sole purpose of this kinetic strike was to gain control of Venezuelan oil resources. This ended up with the extraction of the...
So the Venezuelan government is telling the truth. Everybody knows that the lid's been blown off, man. The emperor's got no clothes. Everybody sees it was about the oil. I'm not, we stating the obvious here, right? Venezuela been saying it for the long time. Maduro been saying it for the longest. He's been trying to negotiate with Trump. He said, look, if you want me to cut off China, Russia, I'll do it. You want gold, want oil, you do it. Trump even on record said, yeah, he tried to give me everything. But that wasn't enough. Now, keep that in mind, because you've been hearing, and some of y'all may have been hearing the narratives coming from the right saying it ain't about the oil. We don't need the oil. Well, so since when has the so-called white man been not subjected to greed? When has he not gone overboard and taken more than his full? When is he not just taken because he can? Destroyed because he can? And it definitely was about the oil. Now they're flipping and saying, yeah, it's about the oil because we don't want China and Russia to have it. So we better take it. That's what they're saying.
Leader of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro, and also his wife, Celia Flores. Some people have decided to go to the streets, mostly the supporters of Nicolás Maduro. We need to remember that the Maduro government were bracing for a situation like this for many months now. And
So notice she said most of the people that's taken to the streets are the supporters of Maduro, and they're in protest. If the whole country was being suppressed and all jacked up and under dictatorship, everybody should be out there. But that ain't the case. I mean, with American flags and so happy with Donald Trump on their posters. That ain't happening.
Former leader of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro, told his supporters that in case he was not present, the people should go out to the streets. Well, we are witnessing like small gatherings in Caracas mostly, and the majority of Venezuelans remain at home waiting what is going to happen in the coming hours.
We have about 45 seconds left. President Trump today said that the U.S. is going to be running Venezuela. Is there any evidence on the ground that the United States is now in charge?
No, there is no evidence so far. The Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez appeared on television saying that she is running the country, that they are not happy with, of course, what happened, and they will not surrender. And they are calling this a kidnapping of the one and only legitimate president of Venezuela, that they will continue running the country. She appeared on television surrounded by members of the military forces and...
All right, for time's sake, just keep all that in mind, as she said, right? Now, Venezuelan rejoice. Socialism failed yet again. Now, look down here. See this date? January 6, 2026, right? Here's an article that's getting put out there saying that this was a good move and the Venezuelans are all rejoicing. You heard that, right? Here's the actual article itself. This is from the Armstrong Economics. Venezuelans rejoice. Socialism failed yet again. Now, he attaches a video on X. Thousands of Venezuelans go out in La Vega, a popular area of Caracas, to celebrate the fall of Nicolas Maduro and the victory of Edmundo Gonzalez. The eyes of the world are on Venezuela. Now, mind you, this is... You know what? Let me just play it. Let's see if y'all pick something up. He's saying this is after the fall of Maduro. They're out there in Max. Oh, you see, hold it. Look at the date on this. You see that? July 28th, 2024. This is published January 6, 2026. He's promoting this as if this is a live video of the Venezuelans out there celebrating the fall of Nicolas Maduro. Now, this was a video based upon the election when they thought that Edmundo Gonzalez won the election 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. But this cat is trying to use this to say that this is the, you don't believe, look at this. The people of Venezuela are celebrating Maduro's departure. Those who have lived under socialism understand the depths of its destruction. Hugo Chavez is celebrated as a social justice warrior for eliminating capitalism in the 2000s. Socialism does not work. And now he's going on talking about that why the socialist economy doesn't work, this, that, and the third, right? But look what he puts on here. He's putting on the picture as if this is all part of the whole scenario. Why do I put this out here? Because there's propaganda that's going on out there. There's a lot of different videos on, especially on X, where people are using old footage from the World Cup when they was playing in the Soccer World Cup, whole separate protests going on, and people are promoting it, saying these are Venezuelans out there who are happy that Maduro's been captured and kidnapped and removed from power, and they're out there rejoicing out there in the streets. And they're using old videos and irrelevant videos to what's going on. These are the games that's going on right now. Look at your boy. We're in charge.
Don't ask me who's in charge, because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial.
What does that mean?
It means we're in charge.
So that should be the answer for the Venezuelans over there, asking, well, who's going to be next? Are we going to get Desi? Or are we going to get Edmundo? Who's going to run the country? There's your answer. We're in charge.
The country is a mess. It's been horribly run. The oil is just flowing at a very low level, much lower than, even if it was badly run, it should have more income, more oil than what they do. So we're going to have the big oil companies go in. They're going to fix the infrastructure. They're going to invest money.
You saying you can't hear me or you can't hear the video? Is the video playing? Can y'all hear the video? Because let me know.
We're not going to invest anything. We're going to just take care of the country. You know, we were ready for a second wave. We were all set to go, but we don't think we're going to need it.
Yeah, I think it's just you out of that. Everybody else can hear. I can hear too. Might be you. So he's saying he's in charge, right? Let's continue on. U.S. accuses Venezuela of election manipulation, leaves the door open to sanctions. This is how you know, man, that America intercedes themselves in everybody's business. They were talking about, oh, Maduro lost the election fraud. We might have to step in. Wasn't it the same thing that Trump was complaining about? Didn't he say, oh, Biden stole the election? Every time somebody steals the election, he feels like he's the rightful winner. Now he's still talking about it. They stole the election in 2020. They stole it from me. They stole it from me. Now Maduro is in a whole nother country. They've got their own democracy. They got their own voting system. And America says that ain't right. We might have to go in and do something about that. They've been wanting him out since 2020. Prior to that, they've been trying to get rid of all of them. Hugo Chavez, all of them. I showed y'all the video. I showed y'all the article about all of the intermeddling and regime changes and endorsements of dictators and all that they've been doing in Latin America, all the way back since like the 50s. That America's constantly been putting their dirty fingers all in everybody else's business and up their noses and up their rectums. Puppeteering people. The Biden administration said on Monday that electoral manipulation had stripped Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's claim of re-election victory of any credibility, and Washington left the door open to refresh sanctions on the OPEC nation. Did you hear that? So Venezuela's already been cash-stricken with, sanctions, inflation, all that other stuff, right? Much of which comes at the behest of America and the IDF. So now they say, well, we don't want him in there. And guess what? We don't believe he won that election. It's not your election. It's not your country. Mind your damn business. But no. And plenty of people over there said that he is the rightfully elected president of Venezuela. But no, America's got to stick their nose in the business, right? And then they said, well, we might have to throw some more sanctions on them because we don't like how that election went down. Punish them even more economically until we can get rid of that dirty spick. That's what they want to say. Senior U.S. officials briefing reporters on Sunday's election sharpened Washington's response to the disputed vote. So this was an article regarding the election, right? See down here, July 29, 2024. That goes back to that X post with the video of the people out there celebrating because they thought their Edmundo Gonzalez, they thought he won. Now, did Maduro swindle that? Probably did. But what's that got to do with me? What's that got to do with anything? All politicians is all corrupt. They all be lying. The one guy, Dan Bongino, that the second in command of FBI, when he used to be Secret Service for I think Obama and I think Bush or something like that, Clinton. I think it was under Clinton and Obama, I believe. But he got into politics. They wanted him to get into politics. He said, man, I can't get into politics because you have to lie. Even Trump said, I try to tell the truth when I can. That's a quote. I try to tell the truth when I can. They said, how do you know a politician, man, when his mouth is moving? How do you know he's telling a lie? He said, when his mouth is moving. I forgot whoever made that particular quote, but that's what it is. So let's not act like there's not corruption and there's not folly that goes on in politics, man. That just comes with the territory. Slow Biden, if he stole the election, won the election, he swindled that. For sure he did. Agent Orange and did some dirt too. All of his campaigning and financing and making money from his Trump coins to the tennis shoes to the Bibles, everything else, marketing and promoting himself, all the lies he done told just to get up in there. I mean, let's knock it off. Let's not act like fraud isn't part of the deal. But now they crying foul because they said we don't like him. We want him out of there because we want control of Venezuela. Look at this. Venezuela braced for economic collapse from the U.S. blockade. So this is the only thing that's going on. Venezuela could lose the bulk of its oil export revenues this year if the U.S. blockade stays in place, according to internal government estimates, a scenario that could set off a humanitarian crisis. That's exactly what goes on. They go in, they destabilize, they break down the country, and then guess what? They come back and they buy it pennies on the dollar until they completely colonize the place. And you got KFC, McDonald's, and Pizza Hut, and everybody speaking English, and the dollars down there, and the oil trade is being ran by them, and customer service is being, phone lines is being opened up over there, and they get turned out. They know what they're doing. Venezuela's already damn near about to collapse before all this went down. They was hanging on by a thread, economically, because they had the support of Russia and China, getting them loans and that money from them in exchange for oil. And now that's been cut off. What are they going to do? Look at this. Chinese diplomats arrived in Venezuela for talks with Maduro hours before the U.S. strikes and are still there. See, Agent Orange knows what he was doing, man. The whole thing is he wants to cut off China and Russia's influence, the economic pipeline that they got going through Panama, got going through China. That's why we was campaigning talking about we're taking back the Panama Canal, getting China up out of there. Greenland, I got a video. He's gonna say, man, I'm taking it no matter what. He said, I'm not. Otherwise, China and Russia's gonna get it. We can't give it to them. We can't have them as neighbors. So China's getting ready. They're going down there, man, to negotiate, get some business cracking off. And America steps in and says, "Oh no, you don't. Oh no, you don't." It ain't just about America getting Chevron and Exxon and all them down there to get the oil and make this money. No, one is yes that, but at the same time, they're trying to cut off the resources to two of their main ops. And how do you think they're going to react? How do you think China and Russia is going to react to this? Oh, you cutting our water off? Oh, for real? Okay. That's why I said all hell is breaking loose or going to break loose, because that's a cold move that Agent Orange pulled, which is only an act of provocation. China tells Trump to stay away from Venezuela's oil and calls Maduro's immediate release. China said, hey, let our boy go, and you better stay away from that damn oil. Well, that ain't gonna work. Why are they so concerned? Look at this. I pulled this up earlier. How much debt did Venezuela owe China and Russia? Venezuela owes approximately $60 billion to China and around $2.3 billion to Russia, excluding interest. Overall, Venezuela's total external debt is estimated to be between $150 billion and $170 billion. That's according to CNBC, Fox News. This ain't just AI. They just pull up the actual articles and give it to you in the highlighted form. I'm not chatting with GPT right now. Why is this important? Because guess what? See this? China, $10 billion to $20 billion, they're in debt to. Why? Because they gave them loans. This is how they've been able to sustain themselves, because they get the oil for loan agreements. China says, how much you need? We need 10 billion. Pay us back in oil. Venezuela says, hey, no problem. Shit, we got 17 trillion, dollars worth, megatons of oil down here. It's all good. Russia says, whoa, we need access to the oil as well. We'll invest $2.3 billion in your state-backed oil company. Guess who's running that now? Oh yeah, the U.S. So guess what? That 2.3 billion Russia invested in, they debted on that. America's not going to pay that back. America's not giving that up. Cold thief came in and swindled. China's dead on this $10 billion, $20 billion in loans. They ain't getting that back. Agent Orange has made a cold move, man. That dude is wicked as hell, but this is what it is. All in the name of what? Narco-terrorism. That's what he said it was, right? That's why China said, man, don't mess with that oil. That's ours. Agent Orange said, nah, it's mine now. Do something about it. Look, Trump reveals he gave U.S. oil companies a heads up before and after the Maduro raid. It was all planned. He ain't talking about the damn drug trade. Did he inform the DEA? ATF? Did they get the word? Yeah, we're getting ready to go make that raid, man. I heard he got tons of keys down there, man. The pipelines, the travel routes, we got it all. We're going to get down there. No. Who did he call? The oil companies. Yeah, it's going down. Yeah, we're going to get him. We got the intelligence. Yeah, about 30, 45 minutes. We'll talk business later. Take care. Bye. Give him a heads up, man. So let him know. Yeah, it's going full throttle. Everything's going according to plan. We're getting ready to go seize all of that. I'm saying that kind of facetiously. Required. We know it wasn't about oil. They're there as actors, man. They're not there because there was legitimate drugs down there. We know that. Did you speak with the oil companies before the operation? Did you tip them off before and after? They want to go in. They're going to do a great job. So all this was premeditated, all pre-planned. About the oil. There you go. All right. Chevron contracts 11 tankers for Venezuela ports. Calls as a Don Road doctrine begins. Here we go. Remember you said the Monroe Doctrine? That was about, America having control of the entire Western Hemisphere. Any foreign entities coming in, they need to be removed. We need full control over our areas. Anybody coming in here, man, we ain't messing with that. America first. But he says it's the Don Road Doctrine, right? This is all part of his pride of his heart. This is all of his own thinking. This is the treachery. Chevron already got contracts lined up, signed, dotted, and ready to go. Okay. Trump says the U.S. government may reimburse oil companies for rebuilding Venezuela's infrastructure. That was supposedly the hesitation, right? Oil companies like, man, it's going to take us some years to get down there, set up shop, get everything situated. That's a large investment, man. We ain't ready for that. Trump said, hey, don't worry about it. We'll reimburse you. America's broke. What are they going to reimburse them with? Like y'all. What are they going to reimburse them with? Oh, guess who's going to have to pay the taxes? Tax going to go up. And you're going to say, you'll get it back in a dividend, just like you're going to get with the tariffs. We've got trillions of dollars from tariffs. Knowing he lied about that, you ain't heard that come up no more. I mean, it's tax season right now, right? You heard anything about well that little dividend stimulus from the tariffs is still gonna come through? No? Oh, okay. Now he said Donald Trump. Select. Yeah, I'm in my two. Okay. Donald Trump said he believes the U.S. oil industry could get expanded operations in Venezuela up and running in fewer than 18 months. They said usually it takes 3 or 4 years. He said 18 months. I think we can do it in less time than that, but it'll be a lot of money. A lot of money. A tremendous amount of money will have to be spent, and the oil companies will spend it, and they'll get reimbursed by us or through revenue. If he says by us, That means taxes is going up, man. Caesar says more taxes, more tribute, because they're expanding the empire. Isn't that what happened to Rome? Rome overextended themselves. They had so many provinces, man. They couldn't keep up paying. They couldn't pay the troops like they used to. Inflation was up, man. The denarii was going up. I mean, was being less valued. Barbarians was raiding in all over the place, man. And Rome eventually collapsed, right? But here he goes. Yeah, we're gonna expand. We ain't got the money, but we'll figure it out later. As America, the dollar is already dying. See how that works? Nothing new under the sun. Trump threatens to remove sick Colombia president in the second operation. He says he told Colombia they're next, right? We heard him make threats. He just said today that he's going to do land strikes in Mexico against the quote unquote cartels. So he's very busy right now. Trump seemed to foreshadow a potential military operation in Colombia, denouncing the nation's leader as a quote sick man who sells cocaine to Americans. What happened to the Honduran president, man, that was convicted of selling tons of coke in America that he just pardoned? He don't have no problem. And I'm sure in his day, in the 80s, that nose of his done seen some powder. Wouldn't surprise me. He got a little nose candy up in there before. The circles he was running around, I hard to believe that he never sampled a little sugar, booger sugar, as they call it. I find it hard to believe. But he pardoned a Honduran president who was convicted of drug trafficking. Why? Because he's buddies with his tech oligarch buddies. They told him, hey, he's one of ours, man. Let him go. We used to get good stuff from him. You know. Now it says he's not going to be doing it for very long. So there will be operation by the U. So they asked him. So there will be an operation by the U.S. in Colombia. One reporter asked. Sounds good to me. President Trump responded vaguely, offering no further insight to this answer. One day after Maduro and his wife Celia Flores arrived in New York for booking, Trump threatened other South American countries, including Cuba, Mexico, Colombia, with military intervention if something doesn't change. You know what's interesting with that too? I seen some Edomites, man. I think there was like I don't know, there's ex-CIA or something like that. I forgot what podcast it was on. But you know, they're out here saying that this was a rescue mission. They were helping Maduro, man, because he was getting shook down by Cuban nationals. Cuba was over there puppeteering them, making them sell the drugs and all of that. And they wanted to get rid of them. And the VP, she was in on it. And, you know, they had to stand down and let him come on in there. And it was, you know, America was just trying to get him up out of there. And then they showed a video of him walking with cuffs on. He was saying, Happy New Year, you know, smiling. They was like, see, he's happy to be out of there. I'm like, good Lord. I mean, the theater doesn't stop, man. The theater doesn't stop. They're actually saying that he was getting rescued. Now, continued on. Colombian president rages, come get me. I'm waiting in a huge taunt to Trump. But we heard Maduro say that too. And before you know it, man, them troops was boom, boom, boom. Freeze, everybody. And he was out of there. So we don't know. But he's talking big stuff. He told Trump, man, hey, come get me. I'm waiting for you here. Don't threaten me. I'll wait for you right here if you want to. He's not turning down the fade. He's you know, Gustavo Petro, man, talking big stuff. He said, I don't accept invasions, missiles, or assassinations, only intel. Come speak here with intelligence and we'll receive you and talk face to face with facts, not lies. Stop getting lied to by Colombian political mafias who condemned us to 700,000 deaths and made us the world's worst unequal country. So he said, man, you want to talk, man? Let's sit down. We're going to chop it up. We're going to talk facts. You want to lie? You want to propagate? You want to go out there and then we're going to have to handle it a whole nother way. Granted, Colombia cannot handle America at all. But I respect the fact that at least he's speaking up and saying something. Look at this. This is another reason why they after him, man. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has urged Jews around the world to rein in Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who since last Friday has been leading a wide-scale assault on Iran, describing him as a war criminal wanted by the International Criminal Court. So he's been on record, number one, saying that Benjamin Netanyahu is part of the GMO small hat community, the fake AstroTurf thieves claiming an identity that's not theirs. He's called them out and said, man, you ain't a real Jew, I am. He's called for Jews around the world to say, hey, man, this dude is corrupt. He's wicked, man. Get rid of him. Look what he's doing to Iran. Look what he's doing in Gaza. So anybody that is not in support of the Israelis over there, they get blacklisted. If you're not pro-Zionist, pro-Israel, like you a problem. They're going to get rid of you one way or the other. So I'm sure this has something to do with it too. Netanyahu said, yeah, get rid of him. He's a thorn in my side. Agent Orange said, we're already on top of it. And no, you can't have no oil, and no, we ain't giving you no money out of here. Take your hook nose back over there, and we'll talk later about what's going on in the Middle East. That's what we're going to control over there. Don't be trying to sniff over here. Colombian president said he's ready to take up arms in the face of Trump threats. He's saying he's ready to go to war. Well, wars and rumors of wars, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Look, Mexico should indeed be concerned. Trump's threats rattle Mexican official businesses. So he's talking about Mexico needs to be, on guard. But look, I didn't put it on here, but I'm pretty sure that there was an announcement that Trump signals U.S. to start hitting drug cartels by land in Mexico. That was an hour ago. Trump signals the U.S. may strike drug cartels in Mexico. Trump says he's going to start hitting land in Mexico. So we see who's next. And if you listen to and you hear from Venezuelan people, they said that residential areas were struck by those airstrikes. Residential areas, innocent people got hit. Innocent people got smoked in that whole scenario. They said it was like 30 Cuban nationals was over there protecting Maduro. They said all of them got put to death. Death toll is even higher than that right now. Let's see where it's at right now. Cuba and Venezuela report 55 military deaths. Look at this. Maduro captured 100 dead, 100 injured. And I ain't heard how many were American in that. So we see that. Numbers don't lie. Men and women do. Numbers don't. Mexico's next. Look, Marco Rubio issues a huge warning to Cuba after Maduro capture. They're in a lot of trouble. So they're going down the list. Checking it. Cuba's next. Mexico, Cuba. He said they're in a lot of trouble. Cuba's already on the verge of complete, utter inner turmoil and destruction as it is, man. You just cut their water off too. Right? So economically, they're already going to self-implode, but that ain't enough. He said 2 American Delta Force operators were injured. Okay. Injured. No deaths though. 100 deaths to 2 injuries. I don't think that balances out. Look, Russia rejects Trump's 20-point peace plan for Ukraine, forming a true axis of war. So that's to tell you something. Remember the Christmas deadline about the peace deal? That's off the table. Russia's already said that ain't happening. We're going all in on this war. Forming a true axis of war. So that should tell you something. That the candlestick of World War III is definitely flickering. It's about to be a full-blown flame. Russian warships moving to defend vessel pursued by the U.S. as all-out warfares explode. Y'all heard about that? America seized a Venezuelan tanker that had Russian oil on it, intended for Russia. They went and chased it down, snatched it up. And Russia was like, whoa, now you messing with our stuff. Like you know we got business with them. You didn't cut them off. Now you interfering with something that was directly ours? The move comes as U.S. forces were said to be preparing to board the Russian flag oil tanker, raising tensions between the two nuclear armed nations. And they said that Russia has sent out a nuclear sub to go try to intercept this thing. Now, nothing came of that, but we're seeing that America is definitely moving on some, as he calls it, the Don Roe doctrine, man. If you over here in this Western Hemisphere, this is all ours. Matter of fact, I did a class regarding Genesis 27 and 41 about the fatness of the earth and really detailing the Western Hemisphere, why this is part of we know that the fatness of the earth could be considered the entire earth, but the fatness, the greatest parts of the earth, the most prosperous parts of the earth, the most controlled areas where dominion can be had unimpeded is right here. Y'all ain't seen that one, man. Maybe I'll re-upload it unless y'all can find it. Just search it on the channel if you didn't see it, or just refresh yourself on it, because a lot of stuff that I put out in there is relevant now. I think I did that a couple years ago. So this is a provocation. Russia's getting their warships out there as America went and hijacked another damn oil tank. Touched the wrong one though, because it belonged to Russia. That was intended for Russia and its use. Continue on. U.S. forces dramatically seized a Russian flag oil tanker in the Atlantic. There you go. Russia says it used a nuclear-capable missile to strike Western Ukraine. So as those peace talks is going on, they went and launched off one of those arithmetic missiles that says it's capable of carrying a nuke, but didn't have a nuclear warhead on it. But the fact that they're even using nuke-capable missiles at this point in time right now is an eye-opener for the EU, NATO, and America and everybody else saying, whoa, I thought we were just doing drone strikes. I thought we were just doing, the Abrams tanks and all that other stuff. You done brought out the big boys. And Putin's basically saying, yeah, I'm not playing no more. This is how I feel about your peace deal. Y'all just did a drone strike and tried to take me and my family out when y'all lit up my house. Okay, it's lit now. We're going at it. Russian Defense Ministry said on Friday that it had struck Western Ukraine with a nuclear-capable intermediate-range ballistic missile on ominous warning by President Vladimir Putin of Russia as U.S.-led negotiations to end the war have gained steam. They ain't gained no damn steam. The attack was only the second time in the war that Moscow had fired that type of missile known as the Oresnik. The choice of Western Ukraine near the border with Poland, an EU NATO member, as the target seemed to intend to send a message to Europe as it strongly backs Kiev in the settlement talks. So Russia's stepping up their game in regards to the weaponry that's being used. Russia floated the Venezuela for Ukraine deal to Trump, the ex-advisor, saying, so, there was some quote unquote rumors that was out there saying that there was a little backdoor deal that America, China, and Russia came to an agreement. Russia, you can have the Ukraine. America, you can have Venezuela. And China, you can have Taiwan. Why that ain't gonna really work, it doesn't make sense, is because if Russia was told you can have Ukraine, what about that $500 billion minerals deal that America owns? All of a sudden, that's going to be Russian territory. You think they're going to accept that? No. That ain't going down. America can have Venezuela. That means that they're going to start dealing with Russia and China and help their infrastructure and their power and their energy. No. Trump just said, we don't want them as neighbors. We don't want nothing to do with that. We're not dealing with them in business. That means they'd have to cut the sanctions to Russia and everything. That wouldn't make no sense. So I think this was just a rumor. This was some BS that was put out there. They said that this was coming from an ex-advisor saying that this was a proposed deal. But I seriously doubt that was the case, because if that was the case, then there would have been no need for them to go and capture that Russian flagged oil tanker if there was a backdoor deal going on. So just to address that, in Iran, dictators threat to arrogant Trump as Iran plunged into internet blackout amid swelling uprising. So Ayatollah Khomeini, he's over there still woofing, but they said that he might be fast tracking his way out of there and getting to Russia, trying to escape the uprisings. Who knows? But notice it said arrogant Trump. We just the first article and the scripture we covered should tell us about the son of perdition, about his policies, about the treachery that he's going to lead and the deceit that he's going to lead by, the pride of his own heart deceiving him. All of those things we see playing out right now. And now even world leaders are saying, man, this guy's arrogant, this guy is tripping. All of the above is being shown prophetically. Protesters clashed with security forces in Tehran's Grand Bazaar. The Zeskian government can't handle this alone. So we do see 2 Ezra 9:2. We talk about it all the time, about all of the uprisings going on, the uproars of the people, protests, the seditious behavior that's going on, man. I mean, they're protesting in I think they're protesting in France still. Yeah, look at this. France, UK, Germany condemn killing of Iranian protesters. That was 19 hours ago. Ukraine says France will vote against Mercosur after farmers protest in Paris. They got farmers protesting out there. Iranians out there protesting. Protests in Iran. There's protests in Africa. There's protests in America. Look what happened over there in Minnesota, man. You talk about protest. I mean, this the one. I think that's the one. Let's got that. See this damn thing, man. I don't know why it does not keep the apocrypha on here correctly like it should. It used to. Now I don't. But anyway. 2 Ezra 15, right? Verse 5. It says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. We're seeing all those things play out right now. Sword is happening. We see weapons of warfare, weapons of mass destruction happening all throughout the earth, being pulled out, being showcased. All the between the wars, the violence that's happening in the world, famines going on. We know it's getting to that point because here you got the so-called white man running around trying to 3D print meat, GMO crops going on all over the place, franken foods galore. If there wasn't a threat of famine, let alone he's trying to do population control and disease and poison everybody, that would contribute to famine. But in reality, man, all these third world countries and Middle Eastern countries, man, are really on the brinks of starvation and famine. That's why a lot of people, all these countries, man, hate America. America is the only country, man, who's got the gall. While other nations are starving, other countries are out here starving, scrapping up food, dealing with high inflationary numbers, man, and the whole nine. America's got the nerve to be having food eating competitions. What's the one over there in New York where they be stuffing their face with all them damn hot dogs and everything else? Nathan's. It's the only place, man, that's so gluttonous that just like, man, we're going to see how much food we can eat and reward somebody for gluttonous behavior. And the rest of the damn world is looking like these damn bastards. We over here starving, man, and they're over here seeing who can eat the most. foodie influencers making tons of money on the internet, running around stuffing their faces and food eating competitions and profiling all these different restaurants, eating what they call it, mukbangs. Where they eating food and just recording themselves so people can just watch them eat. I mean, it's wild. And you wonder why. Everybody looking at America like, this place, we hate them people over there. So famine, death, and destruction, all those things are being partaken of right now. If you got 100 people that died and others injured in Venezuela alone in a 30 to 45-minute operation, man, that's massive death. You're hearing about all of these mass shootings jumping up. They just had one over there. It will, I guess they consider it a mass shooting. A couple people got put to death at a damn Mormon church of all places. Utah. When this happened in Utah, you like, damn, Utah. But let's not forget, man, Utah was a bloody state, man, for them damn Mormons and the army and the Native Americans, man, that got that slaughtered and put to death, man, fighting over the land and territory over there, the Utes. Utah ain't just old lily white. They fought and they got spread a lot of blood to get that over there. But from what I'm understanding, it was some Japhetites or some Polynesians over there, man. They could have been gang related. I don't know. But anyway, I mean, mass shootings happening all the time here in America, from the malls to the churches to the grocery stores to the streets, funerals, you name it. Right? Destruction. Wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. I mean, I think we can kind of agree on that. That the world is full of wickedness. The world's full of evil. The deception, lies, witchcraft, high wizardry and sorcery going on, LGBTQ plus HIV communities being infiltrated into the kids' minds and homes and cartoons and you name it. Poison of the food, air, water, land. All the hurtful works are being fulfilled. Now, dropping down, let's get right to the point. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men. Sedition is basically rebellion against government, rebellion against rulership. And we're seeing that being played out all around the world. And invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Mob rule, right? Protesters clashing in Tehran, in Iran, right? Now, this is our prophet. This is all the things that we're seeing. This helps us understand it on the times that we're in. Continuing on, EU leader says Trump is destroying the world order. Hello. And after leaving woke UN agreements. So let's see what he's talking about. This Emmanuel Macron, French Prime Minister, one of the heads of the EU, and he says, man, Trump is ruining stuff right now. This cat is tripping. The United States is an established power, but one that is gradually turning away from some of his allies. Turning away. Oh, hold on. So he said that America is turning away from some of its allies. So Revelation 17, right? And we ain't gonna get into the whole chapter, but we're just gonna look at this first. It says in verse 8, it says, the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. The bottomless pit is Europe, right? And it says the beast that thou sawest was and is not. It's talking about Rome. Rome was a power. They fell in the Dark Ages, and they disappeared out of power rulership from around the 4th century AD all the way up until around almost the 15th century. 1,000 years. The beast I saw was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. So they're going to go into destruction. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life and the foundation of the world, when they will behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. So we're going to see a beast that was, he's going to descend out of into perdition, be destroyed. Then he said he's going to be still existing. He's still going to be relevant. He's still going to be around. Right? How is that? Because from Rome, which we're going to see, rising from the, what they call it, the flames as a phoenix, is America. That's how he is still going to be here. The embodiment, spirit, the policies, the architecture, the democracy, the governmental so-called democracy, all patterned out the Rome. The religious, and the ceremonial rites. We just got to going over the damn New Year. Where'd they get that? Where'd America get that from? From Rome. Everybody's seen it. We done the lessons. Y'all seen it all, right? So continuing on, it says, and here is the mind which hath wisdom. So you got to have wisdom to understand this. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. So the 7 mountains are representative of kingdoms, right? Greece, Rome, Spain, France, Germany, Russia, Great Britain, and from Great Britain comes America. You say, well, that's 8. Well, hold on. Relax. We'll get to it. Now it says, and there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. So out of those 5, Greece fell. France, Spain, Germany, Russia, they all had a run, and they all ended up falling. It says, and 1 is. Well, who we miss out of there? Great Britain, we missing Rome, right? 5 are fallen, 1 is. So the 6th one is Great Britain. So you got 5 particular kingdoms that fell out of power. Great Britain is the one that still is, and the others not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue for a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th. The 8th, that's America. America comes from as the offspring of Great Britain, hence the Civil War, and is of the 7. So America is of the 7 and goeth into perdition. America is going to be destroyed, right? And is of the 7. So he comes from the 7th horn, which is Great Britain. And one other thing, he's of the 7 is, what do they have all in common? All of those is the nation of Esau or Edom. All of them come from there. You can't say, well, I'm French, I'm Greek, I'm Russian, I'm Britain. No, y'all Edomites. Y'all share the same seed, same forefather. So we're not going to do that. Okay. Now, he said that America is messing up. Let me get back over here. We're going to play some more of this. He's turning away from some of his allies.
Les États-Unis sont une puissance établie, mais qui se détourne progressivement de certains de ses alliés et s'affranchit de règles internationales qu'elle promouvait encore.
Les
États-Unis sont une puissance établie, mais qui se détourne progressivement de certains de ses alliés et s'affranchit de règles internationales qu'elle promouvait encore récemment. Il s'agit du commerce, de certains éléments de sécurité.
And when our Agent Orange said, I'm not subject to any international law. I'm only subject by my own morality. The EU, to hell with them. NATO, to hell with them. I dictate policy around here. I'm the boss. Now he's going on record saying, hold on, man, we had an agreement. You turning your back on us. Whether in trade, certain security matters, or some forum. So you're saying, man, you even talking about security matters, talking about maybe NATO need to get up out of here. The move you're making on Greenland, you stepping on Denmark's feet. He's going rogue.
Sécurité ou de certaines enceintes. Et la Chine est une puissance toujours montante qui doit faire le choix de partenariats diversifiés, mais qui témoigne d'une agressivité commerciale de plus en plus désinhibée, et surtout depuis la période de sortie Covid, et qui met à mal aujourd'hui l'économie européenne. Nous refusons le nouveau colonialisme et le nouvel impérialisme.
We reject the new colonialism and imperialism. So he's speaking on behalf of the EU, which is the 10 horns. He said we reject colonialism and imperialism. So they over there saying, man, what that new age colonial move you just put on in Venezuela, man, we wasn't feeling that. You got to tell us what's going on. He said we also reject subordination and defeatism. So they ain't gonna take it lying down.
Et le défaitisme. Nous voulons être des partenaires forts, faire le maximum de ce qu'on peut, mais quand on s'engage, on est là. Ça a beaucoup de valeur pour notre diplomatie, pour nos entreprises, pour nos intérêts stratégiques, partout à travers le monde.
So, sounds like they got problems going on. But what do we see in Revelation 17:16? And the 10 horns will start sauce upon the beast. These shall hate the whore. The 10 horns represent the EU. And the EU has a military arm known as NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. You just heard Emmanuel Macron saying, we got problems with America, man, and we're not going to deal with this colonialism and imperialism that he's out here doing, man. He's breaking loose from some of our partnerships. Now you see why I'm saying that these 10 horns are going to hate the whore, and they're going to make him desolate, naked, and shall eat her flesh. So they're talking about cutting off resources, trying to, make it naked. I mean, strip them, strip America of relations and diplomacy with them, and shall eat her flesh and burn it with fire. So eventually, America's going to get into it with not only China, Russia, the 10 horns is going to have problems with it. America's got their hands full. That's why when you see America over here saying, well, we got to secure this Western hemisphere. This is home base. We got to secure all of this. We need everybody on board. South America, Central America, essentially reestablishing the Americas. All of Babylon needs to be under one roof because it's all going to get targeted. When all hell breaks loose, from the East and from Europe, they're going to say everything over here is a target. So that should tell you something as well.
These eyes blink.
These eyes wink.
Calm down.
And these eyes
blink.
help those eyes see
Come on,
their
let's
best.
With a quality eye exam and 2 pairs of glasses at one great price.
An eye exam plus 2 progressives for $195 at America's Best.
How much money are you thinking of giving people in Greenland to get them on board with a possible U.S.
I'm not talking about money for Greenland yet. I might talk about that. But right now, we are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if...
Did you hear that? That's the imperialism that NATO is talking about. Denmark is. They said what? Whether we like it or not. See, lines being drawn. Follow.
We don't do it. Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. Okay?
You see the frenzy that they just all went into? They're all scrambling trying to get their next question out. They can't believe what he just said.
I would like to make a deal, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way.
What's that mean? What's that mean? Now, you know what's ironic about this too is this goes on the heel of them promoting the new Greenland Part 2 movie. The first one was good. I believe it's on. I always give y'all the movie reference. HBO Max, Greenland. If you have access to watch it, I don't know. You might have to see it on another platform if you don't have that. But it's a good movie, man. End of the world, bunkers. Greenland is supposed to be the safe haven where imminent meteor shower, I believe, that's coming to destroy the earth. They want to preserve, and they're trying to keep all the brilliant minds of scientists and doctors and intelligent people and the next forerunners of the new world or the survivors. Everybody that gets a pass, they got a wristband. They getting on the first thing smoking to Greenland. Greenland is supposed to be the spot that is spared from said destruction. So in other words, they're going to flee America to try to run over to Greenland. That's going to be their safe haven. And now they got a Part 2. So on the heels of them not only promoting the movie, all of a sudden now there's a big fight over Greenland, and Trump is saying we're going to take it whether they like it or not. You can do it the easy way or the hard way. Why are they covered in that place? Yeah, they say, oh, it's the resources and all that, but who knows? They might really have some knowledge behind the movie saying that that's going to be a safe haven when America gets plundered. They're going to think they're going to run over there. But the Most High and the chariots, man, they're going to pursue him wherever he goes. There's no rest haven for them. You know, Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, and in Revelation 9, I believe, is it 9 or Revelation 6 says that, you know, they're going to be trying to hit the bunkers and the caves and, you know, asking the rocks to fall upon them so they can hide from destruction. No, not hiding. Enough of that. We got more to cover. But you see what he's talking. He's talking big stuff. Big stuff. Look how close. Look, you know he's bugged out. Look at his eyes. You know, he's high as a kite, man. There's another little pansy, man. They done wound up. Who knows what happened with this whole thing, man. But it just let it be known, too. Look how close the sedition is reaching. Remember we just got to read in 2nd Ezra 15, it says, they shall not regard the princes nor the kings. Now, here's the VP, man. He went and, you know, hammered up his house. This bugged out, you know, mullet wearing Edomite, man, you know. Hear that? But they worried about the so-called blacks and the browns, man. Oh, yeah, these old dirty, stinking immigrants, man, criminals. They're tearing up our country. Meanwhile, they were the ones heading up January 6th in the insurrection. They're the ones, you know, knocking on the doors of Nancy Pelosi's husband's house as he answers the door in his drawers and gets beat up. They're the ones knocking windows out at the VP's house. I mean, but where the where the threat? Where the threat though? Interesting. So JD Vance, man, had his house vandalized, hammer attack, hammer time. House got broken into by a hammer wielding intruder. They should have been worrying about him than that brother down there in North Carolina that had hammers and knives under the bed. You know, that was going to the New Year's Eve fast food Burger King drive-through and trying to find a local market that was going to be open, man. It was going to carry out a hammer attack. You know, and now all of a sudden the hammer is the weapon of mass destruction now. But you know, the VP's house, man, got invaded, man. So that lets you know how close it is with you know, people rejecting authority, getting that close to you know, a VP having his house vandalized and ran up in. Israeli military are ordered to prepare for war on all fronts amid Iranian protests. Yeah, you know, Small Hats was asking, you know, could they get the green light on lighting up Iran again after they, you know, I have reason to believe too, man. That, you know, I'm pretty sure, man, the Small Hats is over there funneling some funds over there, man, to these dissidents that's running in these streets protesting over money and the economic situation that's going on over there in Iran. Far be it from them to play, you know, the devil on the left shoulder saying, tear it up, we'll give you more money. Wild out, rebel, we'll pay you. Very similar to what goes on over here with George Soros and Open Society and the rest of these, you know, millionaire agitators, man, who, you know, utilize poverty of people to say, hey, you know what, I'll give you some money, man, if you go out there and start a Black Lives Matter movement. I'll give you some money if you go out there and you can start a little LGBT, QHIV equality movement, run out there and tear some stuff up. We'll pay you. You know? So Small Hats is over there agitating, saying we got to get ready for war. Oh, because, you know, it could get worse. The IDF has been ordered to prepare for a possible simultaneous war against Iran, Lebanon, and the West Bank. They're ready to go to war with 3 regions. According to Israeli Channel 12, one scenario reportedly includes an explosive operation against Tehran, which is currently facing widespread Israeli-backed cost of living protests. So all of a sudden, man, the Small Hats is worried about the poor Iranians. Imagine that. But they're using it as a pretext to try to finish off Iran and Lebanon. And Agent Orange says, you got it, green light. Whatever you say, boss, not a Jew. Look at this. Look, Netanyahu Trump meeting sends signal to Israel's enemy. Iran's Khamenei risks Donald Trump strikes with refusal to back down. Trump warns attack on Iran could happen immediately. He's gonna knock the hell out of him. Look, Netanyahu pushes renewed attacks on Iran in a meeting with Trump. Yeah, they met at Mar-a-Lago. Look, he wants round two. He's not done. You know, that lets you know, man, them Amalekites, man, is so war-torn, so destructive. They've got a ceasefire jumping off right now in Gaza, which they've broken multiple times. They can't get no more blood up out of those stand N-words over there. So they gotta go get some more with Iran. They won't be satisfied until they completely dominate, militarize, and destroy all of their opposition. The same way, you know, Agent Orange is over here trying to do the Don Roe doctrine, trying to reestablish it, full control of the Western Hemisphere. They want control over the whole Middle East. And Agent Orange is trying to help them get accustomed to doing that. Look, Europe freaks out after Trump emphasizes taking control of Greenland. So, you know, again, NATO, the EU, they not feeling it. That's rubbing people the wrong way. But that's prophetic. We just read it in Revelation 17. Let's not forget, we just got through reading about the things that's going to plague the earth, even pestilence. Christ even told us about that. 30 states now in the worst tier for CDC flu designation as cases spike across the nation. Mind you, I know I got two family members that's been hospitalized, and I'm not going to mention the brother, but you know who you are. You know, prayers obviously is strong out there for you, man. One of the brothers, man, has been hospitalized right now. But I got two family members, both hospitalized from this recent spat, and one had and has pneumonia. The other one has I forgot what they call it. It's some new, you know, I think it's that new strand of the flu that they're saying, the subclade K variant. I think it's that. But nonetheless, he had to get hospitalized. I just heard Ray J. He got hospitalized with severe pneumonia. It was a bad respiratory, you know, thing jumping off right now. 30 states. They're trying to, you know, gear up for a whole nother. If they could get away with a whole nother C-19, they definitely would do it. But because the way that it all, you know, ended up being revealed and people start waking up and people started, you know, being enlightened to the whole scenario of it being, you know, a beta test, they know people ain't gonna fall for it the same way, man. So they're gonna have to hit with something real hard. It's gonna make people beg for pokes in the arms, for quarantines, for businesses and places to shut down again. That they already got National Guard prepared on the streets to regulate. They got the Gestapo ICE running around here terrorizing. So it wouldn't be nothing to kind of switch the needs of the emergency. You dig what I'm saying? So I don't put nothing past these people. But you got 30 states now, man, under duress with this new bug out there, man. Take care of yourselves, y'all. Get your preventative meds up there, man. Your energy, your herbs and minerals, and make sure that you keep it right, because they got a whole new thing flying out there right now. So you see here, new government data posted Monday for flu activity through the week of Christmas. You know, people out here being super spreaders, man. They got poked in their arms with the new flu shots of the year. Let alone you still got these maniacs getting boosters from the C-19. You know, they got the what they call them, the shedding from the damn virus, man, going around. So, it's spreading like crazy. Since through the week of Christmas showed that by some measures, this season is already surpassing the flu epidemic of last winter, one of the harshest in recent history. So it's escalating. C-19 infections also have been rising. Other federal data show, though, they remain less common than the flu. All right, so they're calling it the H3N2 subclade K variant. And it's they saying it's a whole new flu jumping off. Check this out.
Cato.
Now, this is another thing what we're talking about in regards to, I told you, we're going to cover a whole lot, man, but bear with me, you're going to get it. If not, double back, rewind it. Some of y'all done already fell asleep. Some of y'all say, I'll catch the rest tomorrow. All praises, no problem. But if you're still riding, pay attention to this. This is important. This is important because it goes back to the digital ID, digital marking, the governmental control over the entire internet. Now, this guy is a billionaire small hat in the tech sector. But listen to what he said.
Network, Shlomo Kramer, also one of the founders.
Shlomo Kramer. Don't you love a good AstroTurf GMO small hat name, man? Shlomo Kramer. Good Lord.
Cato Network, Shlomo Kramer, also one of the founders of Checkpoint, another big cyber company. Shlomo, it's great to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How is AI, cyber warfare, shaping geopolitics right now?
So AI is going to revolutionize cyber warfare, is revolutionizing cyber warfare from critical infrastructure.
He sound like that accent sound like he could have been on the other side of those, how much it cost chambers that they said had gas in them. Don't he sound like he got a German accent? Well, that's slow-mo for you.
They're big cyber company. Shlomo, it's great to have you
But
here.
listen to this.
Welcome.
I'm going to let it go.
How is AI, cyber warfare, shaping geopolitics right now?
So AI is going to revolutionize cyber warfare, is revolutionizing cyber warfare from critical infrastructure to the fabric of society and politics and undermining it, giving unfair advantage to authoritarian governments against democratic countries. First Amendment type of...
That's already happening?
That's already happening. You're seeing...
I know it's kind of hard to understand what he's talking about, but he said AI is already involved in the First Amendment when it comes to things online. Here you go. Shlomo Kramer, Cato Networks, co-founder and CEO of Checkpoint Software, early investor and former board member of Palo Alto Networks. You got to remember, Trump spent, $500 billion on AI technology. He's already given the contracts to Palantir, to OpenAI, to Google, to what's the guy? Larry Ellison and his company, slipping my mind off the top of my head. But all of these technocrat oligarchs already got the infrastructure to regulate the AI, to advance the AI. And he's saying, we got to use AI now to regulate the First Amendment. Remember last week, they said you're going to have to give, certain Medicare members are going to have to get AI to approve your prior authorizations for your health care. So the AI revolution is already here. You ain't got to wait. Stop looking at all the little reels on, Instagram and all the other stuff for the entertainment and the fun, because that's the distraction. That's to get you reeled in and say, yeah, look at how cool this is. Now it's going to rule and dominate and control you, monitor you and get you locked up and killed. But let me let him go.
Democratic countries, First Amendment type of...
That's already happening?
That's already happening. You're seeing the polarization in countries that allow for the First Amendment and protect it, which is great. And I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it, and quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need.
Did you hear that? We need to control the social platforms. We need to control the First Amendment to protect the First Amendment. If that ain't a contradiction, we need to control it to protect it. So the only way we can do it is we got to be able to control all of the social networks. We need to control what you can and can't say. Yeah, Oracle, throw out a shard. This is what they're doing. And they say, oh, cyber warfare risk in 2027. So the whole time when people are talking about this is my channel, my page, no, it's not. And it will not be. We're all renting digital space out here, man. Anytime they want to snatch it up, anytime they want to flag it, anytime they want to adjust the community guidelines and say you violated. Now they got the AI bots and the chat bots, man, sliding through the comments. Remember how they used to, matter of fact, in the co-op, you know, they used to restrict you from even leaving particular comments on the damn chats as other people. The chat bots is rolling through, man, like them little bots from Minority Report, creeping all around, scanning your iris, running in your house, running all around the streets, checking to see who you are, who you're not. Facial recognition, eye scanning, you know, before you even get on. Some countries are already doing that, especially for the teens. Countries that are restricting teens access, man, they cut them off, man. If you ain't got the damn you know, you gotta have the pass the security iris scans and all the other stuff to verify your age, they ain't letting you on. He's saying First Amendment got to be controlled by AI. We got to do it immediately. They're already doing it, but we got to move on it quickly. So the oppression coming through the cyberspace is going to be coming pretty soon, man. When you hear about the famine of the word and all of that, you know, from Amos 8, so it's going to be a famine of not of bread and water, but of hearing the word of the Most High. And Second Ezra 5th chapter tells you the same thing. They're working on it, and he said we got to do it fast. They waking up too fast, man. The Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, man, they turning the world upside down. They waking up. They got an exodus coming. You know, people are leaving out of the churches in droves. You know, truth is being exposed. We're out here with our pants down. We got to shut them up. Why are they getting so fast? They're using the internet. They're using social media. Okay. We got to roll on that. And not just us. We all are getting networking and getting information from other people, and people are exposing and bringing out stuff. We got to bring that to the table. And can this be utilized for prophecy? And they saying shut them all up. Shut them all up. Look at this. Stephen Miller, Agent Orange's trusted advisor, is casting a hard right gaze abroad, saying the world must be governed by quote unquote force. Did you hear that? This is Trump's advisor. Now, if this is what he's telling Trump, this is why Trump's head got swole when he said, "Man, I'm imperial ruler of the world. It can't nothing stop me, except for my own morality. I don't give a damn what the EU says, NATO says, international law says. What I say goes." And the dog whisperer Stephen Miller is in his ear saying, "That's right, boss." Somebody mentioned him as Emperor Palpatine. Yeah. Talking to Vader, turning him out. Stephen Miller has spent the bulk of his White House career furthering hard right domestic policies that have resulted in mass deportations, family separations, and the testing of the constitutional tenets that grant American citizenship. So you hear who's the dog whisperer in his ear? Stephen Miller. And this bald, you know, you want to see what he look like? Look at it. Hmm. These are the guys, man. It's all in Agent Orange's ear. He says you got to rule by force, man. Look at this powerful guy. You know, he done knocked out a few people in some dark alleys, right? No, I mean these be the little weak Revenge of the Nerd cats, man, who sit back and say, you know what? Everything that them women turned me down, for all the time I got bullied, for all the times that I couldn't get on the football team, for all the times I got rejected, for all the times I had to get it, we get them all. You just wait and see. Look at me flooding. The face of evil, man. These are these cats. And he's telling Agent Orange, man, you've got to work, and you're going to take everything and have it being governed by force. Now, Mr. Miller, President Trump's 40-year-old deputy chief of staff for policy and homeland security advisor is casting his hard right gaze further abroad toward Venezuela and Danish territory. I said Denmark. Danish, I'm sorry. Territory of Greenland specifically. We live in a world in which you can talk all you want about international necessities and everything else, but we live in a world, in the real world, Jake, that is governed by strength, that is governed by force, that is governed by power. Mr. Miller told Jake Tapper on CNN on Monday during a combative appearance in which he was pressed on Mr. Trump's long-held desire to control Greenland. So he's saying, man, hey, man, rule with an iron fist. Where have we heard that before? Mussolini, Hitler, you know. Okay, so you can kind of hear now, you kind of see the direction that this thing is going in. Project 2025. You got Agenda 2030. You got New Age colonialism and imperialism being ran by Agent Orange and, you know, his henchmen. This can't end well. Look, Cuba's long-suffering economy is now in a free fall. Yeah, because America completely destabilized them. They don't know, you know, lights off over there. Everything is all jacked up. And now they cut off a pipeline to their energy and their oil and gas and everything else, man. Cuba's in real trouble. With widespread power outages, medicine shortages, and rising food prices, experts say Cuba's economy has never been worse. But the crisis coming just as the supply of Venezuelan oil is threatened. So guess what? That means that now they're at America's beck and call. Ain't nothing, you know, that Russia can't do nothing to help them right now. They're gonna have to bow down to America, and Cuba is a strategic spot when it comes down to the demographics of America that would allow it to be invaded or to be hit by a foreign power who has networked themselves into play in Cuba, talking about China, talking about Russia. Both have relations with Cuba. Both are allies of Cuba. If they were able to get down there and set something up, it'd be an easy touch on the shoulder to hit America with something hot. But now, Agent Orange pulled his move where he might make them bow down. We'll see. Oh, can't forget about good old Donnie. Good old Donnie, Grammy-winning gospel singer and pastor accused of sexually abusing a young man. Say it ain't so. Are you trying to tell me that there was sexual immorality going on in the church by one of the flagship leaders and singers, Donnie McClurkin, who said he was delivered from being a sodomite himself? Wrote a book about it, man, preyed on these little young dudes, man, saying that they was fighting the same thing. And meanwhile, man, he just reverse engineered, man, baited them in, groomed them to have it, take advantage of, you know, this one cat, man. Donnie McClurkin denied the allegations in the lawsuit, which was filed by a man who says he sought out the pastor after reading his book about overcoming the curse of homosexuality. Yeah, Donnie can't get that spirit about it. This is why you got to repent, man. This is why you got to really live by the law. You can't say, I'm not going to say that a sodomite can't be delivered from said spirit on him. We pray to brothers, you know, repent, and sisters repent from that. But when you doing that and you following along with a quote unquote religious mind state, in the denominational mindset who says the laws are done away with, there's no way you can stay on the path of repentance because you don't believe that the laws is what delivered you, and your fear of the Most High delivered you. Because otherwise, you would still be in the fear of the law. But Donnie, he says, "Hey, this cat, man." But the dude got a damn email that says Donnie McKirkland apologized to him and said he's been a dirty old man to him. Is the email lying, Donnie? Interesting. So if y'all want to know about all that, man, go look up Donnie McClurkin. But I figured let's highlight a little bit about what's going on in the church. Now you see why people are leaving out of church, man, running. Because they just can't get any sincerity, can't get any truth about it. Putin puppet threatens to use nukes as the U.S. seized the Russian tanker. We talked about that earlier. Venezuela issues a 90-day order to arrest anyone backing the U.S. attack as armed motorcycle gangs hunt down Trump supporters in Caracas. So Venezuela is completely imploding over there, man. And they also said, I think I got the article. Yeah, we talked about this in Salt Lake City. Multiple people got shot over there at a church. I'll let you know. 2 people shot by a federal agent up there in Portland. We know about the Edomite woman that got smote over there in Minnesota. So we're seeing America also is being overthrown and overridden with violence, man. People are uprising. They protesting and marching and wilding out over there in Minnesota. Portland. So we're revisiting, the age of protests. And remember the George Floyd era, man. Everybody's out in the streets protesting, wilding out. We're getting back to that level again. 2026, you're gonna see a lot more of this go on. Look what Agent Orange said after seeing that video regarding the ICE agent that shot the white woman. I've just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer, who seems to have shot her in self-defense. Now, I didn't see the ICE agent get ran over viciously. Now, I did see him, kind of get bumped a little bit where he kind of moved out the way. But, I'm not going to get on the defense of the pro or con of that thing because, at this particular point, it wasn't one of ours. But what we did see is that ICE now is being given the green light. After this, Christy Nome, all them then jumped out and said, everything's justified. If you come after ICE agents, they've been given full autonomy to do whatever they need to do. Get in their way, interrupt their investigation, man. They can do whatever they want. Remember they did that to the 10 Tribe sister over there in what was it, Chicago? Remember I showed you the video when they was in the middle of the street, did an illegal turn, hit her, jumped out the car, drug her out, abused her. There was another 10 Tribe sister, man. They shot her 5 times. All praise to the Most High. She survived. And they were going to charge her with obstruction and all this other stuff, but she had to fight the case, and they ended up letting her off. She was happy just to be free. No justice. She gets shot 5 times, and they tell her the only thing she happy about is that she didn't get convicted or had to go to jail about the whole thing. So now we're seeing this is why I said with all deceivable, we talk about his craft, man. The deceit. He's telling you didn't see what he just viciously ran over. Your eyes did not see what you saw. He said he got ran over. Did y'all see him get ran over? Everybody seen the video. Anybody get ran over? I didn't think so. She got popped, man. And it's just letting you know, ICE is on a rampage, and they've been given a green light to do whatever they want. Look, Trump administration says it's illegal to record videos of ICE. Here's what the law says. Violence is anything that threatens them and their safety. So is doxing them. It's videotaping them when they're at where they're at when they're out on operations. Homeland Security Christy Noem said. So now they're saying no, I did see him get bumped, but did he get ran over, Naquab, as Trump said? You seen a body on the ground and the car roll over him and peel off? I seen him get bumped. At first they said he didn't get hit at all. I seen the video where he did get bumped and he kind of like jumped out the way and then shot her. But Trump said he got ran over. You seen that? Because if you did, I didn't see that one. That he got ran over? It's on his video? Okay, I guess I got to look for that one. I didn't see him get ran over on none of the videos I seen. I'm going to have to find that one. If you can, man, send a link in the chat. Not in this one, in our chat. Yeah, send it to me when you got it. 'Cause I didn't see that one. But nonetheless, so he got hit. Okay, I'll look for it. So he got hit and ran over it and jumped up and shot her. You shot in through the windshield and at the through the window when she drove out past him. That's a cold cat, man. He's John Wick. I guess I'm about to look at that. I didn't see that one. You seen it too, Shalak? Okay, I gotta check it out. I'm fair. I'll look at it. That's why I asked. Did anybody see it? Because I sure didn't see it. But fair enough. But that don't excuse them saying you can't record them. Now you're gonna get prosecuted. Now you're gonna be held accountable if you're recording them. No witnesses. Trump administration believes you don't have the right to record immigration and customs enforcement officers in public. This stance is both factually wrong and an attempt to chill free speech by conflating it with evidence. I've seen videos of them trying to confiscate people's phones, grabbing them, accosting them, pulling them out the car. If they don't stop recording, tripping on them. No more citizen journalists, no more First Amendment, none of that. They're trying to, quell all of that. I guess they figured the masks, the shades, the hats, all those things ain't good enough to hide their identities. But they need to have some more protections. July 2025, press conference in Tampa, Florida. DHS Secretary Christy Noem said violence is anything that threatens them and their safety. So it's doxing them, it's videotaping them where they're at, when they're out on operations, encouraging other people to come and to throw things, rocks and bottles. Yeah, so even with that whole thing in Minnesota, they said, man, that they was out there agitating. The woman was blocking traffic and all that. I ain't saying she's innocent. But the fact that they jumping off saying, hey, you can't even record them, that's out of pocket. But what would you expect from a Stasi, operation, man? That it's full blown privatized police being told they can do what they want. They recruiting cats off the street, $50,000 bonuses, get you trained a little bit. They said a lot of these cats, man, was even failing, like some of the written and educational parts. They just want to get out there and just throw on a vest and a badge and a mask and get out there and terrorize. So some of these guys, man, ain't even really fully qualified to be out there like that. But I know that now I do know the cat that got hit, he did get hit and dragged in a different altercation that he had with some protesters. So he got hit and dragged from a different incident, and that's what made him prone to react the way that he did. Like he ain't gonna get done like that again. But yeah, exactly. They said that the agent that got hit earlier in the year. Yeah, exactly. I knew about that one, but this other one I didn't see the video of that one. But I'll look at it when we're done. But now they saying, man, you can't even film them, man. You're in violation of the law. Here go another face of evil, man. Pennsylvania House of Horrors, man. Hundreds of human skulls, infants' remains, and rotten corpses are found in a man's basement. This guy was out here grave digging, man, taking up, desecrating graves, getting up 200-year-old bones and baby bones and all kind of stuff, man, putting it in his house. I mean, Esau, man, if you talk about, man, this goes without saying, man. You talk about evil, wicked, just demonic. Like, why? What are you doing? But this is why the law talks about not dealing with necromancy, not dealing with familiar spirits and all that, man. These guys, man, worshiping and honoring the dead, man. Who knows? He's probably, did something with these particular bodies, whether it was sexual, just some wild stuff, man. More than 100 human skulls and remains belonging to infants have been discovered inside the home of a man accused of desecrating mausoleums and grave sites. Jonathan Gerlach, 34, faces more than 500 charges relating to alleged offending, which allegedly began around Halloween and what authorities have described as a horror movie come to life. The Pennsylvania local allegedly had collected skulls, long bones, mummified feet, decomposing torsos, storing them in his basement in separate storage locker. I mean, if we're not in the last days, man, I don't know what to tell you. When madness like this is coming to pass, man, you know, and I know. The days are evil, as the scriptures tell us, man. The days of evil that's upon us right now, man. It's in us some real. Yeah, you said it. You said it, Elder. Diabolical. When you see that type of stuff going on, man. Harvesting, grabbing, desecrating grave-sized mausoleums, storing them up in his house, doing God knows what. It's some real madness, man. Real madness. Daisy wanted the day. I'm not sure what you mean on that one. Not sure what you mean on that one. But nonetheless, man, listen. Know we had a whole lot jumping off today, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh Shai that was able to get it off tonight, man. The water for all y'all tuning in, tapping in this evening, man. Hopefully some edification put out today. Hopefully that helped you in your quest of further understanding the times that we're living in. We'll always have some more to continue building on as the Spirit, leads and guides me. And listen, in closing, you know how I do. Always remember, fear the Most High, keep the commandments. Don't shoot messenger. Most High permit, man. See y'all tomorrow. Closing Shabbat class, man. 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Don't be scared. Be scared, go to church the next day. Otherwise, tap in with us. All right. With that being said, I'm out of here. Shalom.